NFL props and parlays, Andy and Jim, ready to break everything down for you. Corbin's not with us this week. It's going to be a pretty fast show. There's kind of some tricky spots. We'll go over everything for that. Right now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell us what your best bet is for this week. But as always, if you don't have a hot take, if you don't have a best bet, you're just chilling, but you want to help out, let's go ahead and type the word ready in the comment section. Great word, ready. Just type that in the comment section. Boost the algorithm, lets us rank a little bit better on YouTube. So, all right, let's get into it here. Let's just do the weather here real quick, Jim. Tampa and the Giants, a bit breezy, sustained winds, maybe a hair under 15 miles an hour. To me, that's a nothing burger.
The weather's fine here.
Yeah, the weather's fine.
Away.
The weather's fine. I'll do my quick little wind speech. If it's windy outside the stadium, you have to remember that they are playing inside the stadium. And most stadiums, Jim, have walls. And when they show the pictures of the flags on top of the stadium blowing in the wind, you got to remember that they don't play the game on top of the stadium with the flags blowing in the wind. Aaron, sorry, it's my pet peeve. It's my pet peeve when they show the flags. Wrong. It's windy. They're on. All right. Arizona and Seattle, looks like scattered showers. Roto Grinders is the go-to for NFL weather. I'm just telling you right now. So I trust whatever they say. It says we're not talking about a full-on downpour. Should be wet, slick field and a ball. Keep that in mind. San Francisco and Green Bay, not too worried about. So, all right, let's get into it here. Let's start with passing props. The Detroit Lions at Indianapolis Colts. If this was an MMA fight, I would say Detroit however they want. Inside the distance. Jim, I'll be honest. Passing touchdowns. Jared Goff's only minus 135 to throw two of them. What do you think?
I'm in. I said it last week, and it was the same thing. They're scoring so much. It's just they keep teams so off balance, and I don't see this Colts defense being able to throw some kind of big wrench in the juggernaut that has been, the Lions offense. It's just however they want to do it, whoever they want to do it. I've heard some people saying this game could be closer. I think it could be closer for maybe the first half. I see the Lions really pouring it on at the end here. This offense has a smell of Jared Goff getting a push for MVP. Dan Campbell is a narrative guy. We've seen this before with rushing touchdowns and the season props and pay bonuses. I have a sneaking suspicion that if they have a game in hand, they're going to let Jared throw the ball down at the goal line and try to boost these touchdowns up a little bit. Because everybody talks about Detroit's running game, and it just seems like Goff is the odd man out a lot of times. So give me the 2 touchdowns.
So we joked. We had a lot of fun last week. You and I, went head-to-head, the Colts and Jets, and I went back and watched it. It's just you and I bashing our own teams because they're terrible. The fact that the Colts really struggled with the Jets is a nightmare. The running game is going to set up the passing game, and the passing game is going to set up the running game. I see absolutely no resistance here for the Colts. So I would take this. What was the play last week that people post on Twitter? All the alt lines on the Lions. It was like minus 38.5 in those. Now I don't think they're going to do that, but they are going to score a lot of points on this Colts team. Indoors, fast track. I think it's Goff here. Anthony Richardson, I have absolutely no opinion on. You?
No, I don't think. And look, here's the problem with Richardson. If everybody wants to play his rushing props, but we've seen that when he runs the ball and takes hits, he gets injured. So who's to guarantee he's even going to play the whole game?
Truth.
I'm not betting on it.
Yeah. The roof will be closed at the Colts Stadium. Do you know how I know that, Jim?
Because it doesn't retract.
No, because we paid an extra $200 million for it, and it's never worked properly. It's rusted.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, great. So,
how are we not running some of these franchises? How do these guys get these jobs? I never built a stadium with a non-working roof. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I don't want to go on. I'll go on my rant at the end of the show about that effing stadium. I hate that stadium. All right, Chiefs at the Panthers. Mahomes and Bryce Young. I, the Chiefs should romp, obviously. I don't know. 233.5 seems pretty low for Mahomes. I would guess I'm just thinking, what is it? Just a big running game
To get
for
out to
them?
a lead, and they probably just kill the clock. I
Okay.
mean, Mahomes still to me hasn't looked right this whole season. So I really don't want
It's
to be on it.
Super Bowl or bust for those guys. They're just ho
Yeah.
humming it through the regular season. So
Mhm.
I could
I,
actually see Bryce Young getting over this 177 and a
mhm.
half late in the game, like just some nonsensical garbage time. So,
I would take Young for an interception. I think this Chiefs defense is going to make his life an absolute living hell.
only minus 130.
Mhm.
Interesting. All right, not much on that one. Titans and the Texans. I like CJ Stroud under this 237.5. It's Titans. You can run on him. Pass defense is actually pretty good. Stroud just, I don't know. It's just, you said sophomore slump, right?
It is. It's confirmed now. It's not. It's not getting turned around at this point. I just don't think he is comfortable. His protection is not what it was last year. His receivers are not what they were last year. Their chemistry is not there. They got Joe Mixon, who's the best weapon they have, and that has absolutely nothing to do with C.J. Stroud or the receivers. What a wild offensive line! They can't pass block to save their lives, but Joe Mixon is running free.
Isn't it so strange?
So
When
strange.
CJ Stroud drops back the pass, he's just immediately under pressure, and
Mhm.
there's Mixon just running wild.
Yep.
So, yeah, these quarterback props are a little bit tough. No
Again,
opinion
I'm
on
going to be
those.
looking at interceptions again. I would not be shocked to see Stroud throw an interception again. He sailed a couple balls last week that were 4 or 5 yards over the receivers' heads. He just
Yeah.
does not look right.
Let's move on to Baker Mayfield and Tommy DeVito. I like this over 230.5. Baker getting Mike Evans back against this Giants team. I'm not really sold that Tommy DeVito is going to be the answer. I know this is the thing. Tommy DeVito likes to run. I'm not sure he's a great passer. So Tampa's pass defense is absolutely awful, but is DeVito the guy to exploit it?
Mm.
Maybe. But I like Baker. I like Baker to have a big game. I know they're getting Bucky Irving back, but I think this is a really, really nice Baker game. What do you think?
I mean, isn't Tommy DeVito just playing free? Like
Nothing to
totally free.
lose.
It's absolutely nothing to lose. What are they
Yeah.
going to do? Bench him for Drew Lock? Like, okay, DeVito's really not supposed to be here anyway. The fact that he's playing in the NFL is amazing.
Yeah.
I would be looking at Tommy to just have an interception. Wouldn't shock me. Baker over 1.5 touchdowns. I wouldn't be shocked to see Baker hit the 3 mark if they really want to. And the yards as
Ooh.
well.
What's Baker to throw 3 there?
Plus,
Plus 360 with Mike
I can
Evans back?
totally see
Yeah,
that.
Rashad White, K. Dotton. Yeah.
It's just we've seen time and time again with this team, they don't run it down at the goal line. Now, what's been interesting is their run game has gotten better throughout the season. But you get inside the 20, it's Kate Otten, it's Mike Evans, it was
Yeah.
Chris Godwin, it's whoever they can throw the ball to.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it's a really, really nice game there. So, all right. Let's move on to Jaden Daniels and Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush really surprised, I think, all of us
Mhm.
with how many yards and how many attempts he got. I think this 203.5 is completely way too low if he's going to throw the ball that many times. Like he didn't get the hook,
No.
they left him out there. So if they're going to leave him out there against this Commanders team, yeah, I love the over 203 on Cooper Rush. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to get there. I had personally a play on the under completions and under attempts, and about 5 minutes into that game, I knew I was dead in the water. And I was like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, Coop, go for it."
Yeah,
Like so, yeah, 203 seems a little bit low. They're going to feed CeeDee Lamb. Again, this is not a good secondary for Washington. They're getting better, but they're still not great. So I don't really want any part of Daniels passing. I'd be looking at the rushing totals in this game.
let's talk our boy Drake May. Whenever they lose, he flies over his passing total. I love this 215.5. Miami's secondary sucks.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get pressure on the quarterback. I think this is a pretty good Drake May. I will ask you this. I have a fantasy team. My 2 quarterbacks are Drake May and Baker Mayfield. Who do you start?
Ooh, I still go Baker.
I think I'm going
I think you're
Baker,
right.
but I started Drake May last week, and he was great with Baker on bye. So I really enjoy this Drake May 215.5. What do you think?
I agree. I agree. I was thinking about his touchdowns. I'd rather the 215 on the yards. Not have to worry about who's getting the ball down at the goal line. But yeah, this Dolphins defense is not good. They're not good. They give up yards, both facets. So yeah, Drake May. I don't want any part of Tua. Yeah, you can't bet Tua because you never know if he's going to survive the whole game. So stick with Drake
Yeah,
May.
sadly. Yeah, Miami last 3 games has given up 252 average. So seems pretty low for me. And yeah, I don't want any Tua props. Sam Darnold and Caleb Williams. See, Caleb Williams, what is it, 4 games in a row without a touchdown pass? Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. I don't think it's an indictment in him. I think it's an indictment on just the Bears, just overall in general.
The coaching staff is very bad.
Yeah. I have no opinion on any of these quarterback props. Do you?
I will very gladly play both of these quarterbacks to throw an interception and try to hit both. Yep. Sam
Okay.
Darnold back to what he was with the Jets. He
Oh
he is what
wow,
he is.
minus 120 and plus
Mhm.
100. Oh,
I
that's
like both
great
of these
price.
numbers. I'll take both these quarterbacks to throw a pick and hold my nose and hopefully go 2-0.
Darnold's your guy. Yeah, absolutely. Darnold's your guy. I like that one. Let's move on to the Broncos and the Raiders. I like Bo Nix over 220.5. This is a Raiders team that is giving up 255 yards average. No opinion on Gardner Minshew, but yeah, I'm a believer. What can I say? What do you think?
I'm happy for Bo Nix. None of the hoopla in the draft. And we said it too. I believe in our preview show for the season, which I said, look, he's got Sean Payton with him. I mean, you can't ask for a better guy with a rookie quarterback. I mean, the amount that he's learned, he's gotten better every week, every week. Going back to that Jets game where he looked absolutely lost. I mean, I can't believe this is the same guy
Yeah,
going for 280 plus and 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. It's pretty impressive. Um, I would be looking at the touchdowns. I think for Bo Nix, I could see him throwing 2. I believe it's a pretty decent number.
plus
Last I checked, plus
125.
125. I'll take a plus money play on that.
I
100%.
like it. I like it. Can you imagine if Bo Nix were to have gone? Like, it's amazing with these young guys. Like, go to a bad team, like that just wrecks him. Bo Nix could be just a complete, absolute shambles if he went to the wrong
He
team.
could have
So,
been Zach Wilson.
absolutely,
There you go.
absolutely, yeah. Jordan Love and Brandon Allen. One of our favorite things to do is to play these backup quarterbacks over their receiving over their passing yards when they come in. No film, a lot of surprises. I like this Packers pass defense. They've been really good, so I'm not going to play Brandon Allen over. They're so banged up. Obviously, Ayuk is out, Kittle, and no Bosa.
Big.
This 49ers team is just not. Couldn't I could see this being a Packers kind of control the ball, and that there's just not enough possessions for Brandon Allen to get over. Jordan Love, I will say, is not 100%. There's no chance he's 100%. He hasn't looked that great. I kind of like his under 245.5. I don't think he's throwing the ball. Nothing I'll get to the window on, but what are your thoughts?
Nothing for me. This is, I agree, though. I think this is going to be an ugly, like we like to say, stat vacuum game.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
27-10, and nobody's got over 100 yards.
yeah, yeah. Gino and Kyler Murray. I actually like Gino under this total. The Arizona Cardinals defense, all of a sudden, uh shockingly good against so on the season they give up 218 and a half passing, but the last 3 games 175.
Mhm.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then you look at their rush defense, not bad. 99 yards last 3 games. This defense is kind of rounding into form a little bit. So this NFC West is crazy. I like Gino under. What do you think?
I'm going to go against you on this. I actually think Gino's
Ooh.
going to go over. I do. I think that win last week is something that could galvanize this team. They got DK back last week. The defense is starting to get a little bit more healthy, though still banged up.
Mhm.
And the Cardinals have been riding high. Now they got to travel into Seattle. We have light rain there. Seattle's more used to that than Arizona, the temperature, everything. I kind of like Gino to have a good week this week against this Cardinals defense. I could see a big play from DK Metcalf, which just gets you, a quarter of the way there to this number. early on, and then
Yeah.
you're set.
Sunday Night Football, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts. Do you like any of these quarterback props?
No, not passing or touchdowns. No, I really don't know what to expect too much from these guys.
Agreed.
And we got to wait for weather. It being Monday, so. Oh wait, it's in LA. Sorry, Dome.
It's in LA and it's tomorrow. So, all right, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate it. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. We do have our NFL Sunday pack that is up. We've got several plays in there. I think 3 plays at this point, and got a little momentum here in NFL. We dropped some units last week, but nice winner on Monday Night Football. Nice winner on Thursday Night Football. So really loving the 3 plays that we have. That go get that. This is what 5 out of the last 7 weeks we've turned a profit. So pretty proud of the work we've been doing in NFL. These 3 plays are all props. So go grab that. Looking really good. We're up plus 125 units on the year in 2024. So go grab that wt.buzz/AL. It's kind of a pretty decent high volume week for us. So with play on Thursday, play on Monday, and then 3 of them on Sunday. So the spots look really good. Take advantage of that. Let's go to receiving props. You want to just do the Monroe St. Brown to score a touchdown?
Yeah, I like him. I like him over his receiving total as well. I think he's going to have a really, really good day against this Colts defense. He's their zone receiver. He's the guy who finds the openings. He's the one that Goff trusts to be in the right spot at the right time. And I just haven't seen it from this Colts defense to be able to cover a guy of his caliber. I just don't. How many weeks in a row is it now with a touchdown?
Let me pull it up. I think it's 9.
Are we 9 in a row?
I think it's 9.
So, and
it's like the hidden secret.
Effort.
I don't hear anybody talking about a Monroe to score a touchdown.
Like they were up 21 last week, and they're like, okay, it's time for him to get a touchdown. You can see the effort by the coaching staff to get that in there. I also am going to go back
8 weeks in a row.
8 weeks in a row. Beautiful. I'll go back again to the Gibbs receiving. They keep lining this thing. It was 17.5 last week, and it one big reception goes right over. He's just a receiving back. You might get 1 or 2 targets to Montgomery, but a majority of the big screen passes and flare routes are going to go to Gibbs.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what to make of this Colts passing game. I have no idea. This Pittman line feels a little bit high, but I just think they're going to be chasing points the entire time. I think they're going to want to try and get Jonathan Taylor going. I'm just not sure it's going to work that well. And I know their defense isn't going to be able to stop these guys. So, Chiefs at the Panthers. Can I interest you in a Noah Gray 16.5, please?
You certainly can.
Yeah, it's over 1.5 receptions. It's like minus 200. This 16.5, this is something that he can get over in one pass. And this is a guy who's done this in 6 out of the last 7 weeks. And before we were recording, I was saying, like, why would you put wear and tear on Travis Kelce against the Panthers? Like, he didn't do much last week, but this is another week. Like, what, are you going to target Travis Kelce 10 times against the Panthers? No way. Panthers give up over 60 yards receiving to tight ends. Noah Gray, my guy. Give me Noah Gray. Any thoughts?
Like it. Yeah. Like it. I agree. He's carved out a darn good role in this offense. He really has. Like, he has a legitimate role. He's not just a backup that sits on the bench. They have packages for him. They love to run that double tight end package.
And he's open. He's all the time.
It all depends if Travis or Patrick wants to throw it to him. But he is open most of the time.
It's all the time he's open.
Double coverage goes with Kelce and Hopkins.
Yeah.
So I love this number.
How about Kareem Hunt with the rope-a-dope on the receiving last week, where he goes 7 catches one week and then no targets the next week? Oh, boy, did they get us on that one. Titans and the Texans. I have nothing in this one. I guess I'll just bring up that John Michie has flown over 19.5 the last couple weeks. This Titans secondary, though, I just don't want to. I don't want to play overs against it. So that was the only one I think.
I agree. I don't want to fade that secondary at all.
I would also say Joe Mixon over his receiving has been a pretty decent play. I know it hit easily last week on one play. Titans very good against receiving running backs. They do not allow very many yards. Buccaneers and Giants. All right. If we like Baker, we gotta like some of these guys. I mean, if I like Baker to go over his receiving, I gotta like Rashad White.
Mhm.
I gotta like Kate Otten. I gotta like Mike Evans, right?
I don't like Mike Evans. I got to see him back a week. Now, I would
You're
assume if he's
just you're
playing,
just
he's
saying that
healthy.
because he pulls his hamstring every other game.
I haven't seen a pulled hamstring like that. Was really. We were thinking it could be torn. It was that bad. I mean, and now he's all of a sudden back. I'm going to pivot on the Rashad White. I don't hate the 19 and a half. Dude, Bucky Irving has gotten some run in the passing game, and we can get a 5-yard discount comparing him to White. So I would rather go with the Bucky Irving 14 and a half. And look, Kate Otten 50 and a half, yes, 100%. I do not believe that his target share is going to go down because of Mike Evans, because Mike Evans really isn't a target monster anymore. That was Godwin.
Yeah, he's big
Godwin is the
plays and
targets.
touchdowns. That's a
Yes,
great point.
exactly.
Absolutely
Exactly.
great point.
So I still think Otten is going to get his run. And 50 and a half is a low for this guy. Low. This
Mhm.
is an overcorrection by the books. I really like the Otten over 50 and a half.
Cowboys and the Commanders. I have nothing. Nothing in receiving. Move on.
So Eckler hits last week after not getting much of a
Okay.
run. It goes up to 80 something yards. I think that he had 85 yards receiving. I believe that number to start the game last week was 16 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a 4-yard increase from that. I wonder if he's getting healthier and they're starting to figure this out with him. I would not be
Oh,
shocked.
really?
Here's the thing. Micah Parsons is going to get his defensively in this game.
Okay.
He is going to put pressure on the Commanders. Situation that we have is that we have I'm sorry, losing the train of thought. Who's the head coach for Washington? Used to be defensive coordinator.
What?
Dan Quinn. So Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator for Dallas. So if anybody understands this personnel, it's Dan Quinn. This was his personnel. So I think he'll have a plan to neutralize Parsons, and it could be the receiving game of Austin Eckler. Quick dump off
Mm,
passes. I really like this receiving total. I could see him getting over this in 1 or 2, maybe 3 catches. He gets over. Takes one
interesting.
screenplay, 15 yards.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to look. I think that's going to be his role in this offense going forward with Brian Robinson Jr. being healthy.
Patriots and Dolphins. You're liking some Hunter Henry, aren't you?
This guy has just been a great cash cow this year. Great cash cow. There's no debate anymore. He is Drake May's favorite target. So it just seems like the tight ends are getting a lot of run. If you look at the wide receivers for New England, it's really no shocker. Are you throwing a Hunter Henry or Demario Douglas or Keyshawn Bouye or Kendrick Bourne, who just does nothing every week? Even Austin Hooper is getting run. So in my opinion, I think you play both. I love the Hunter Henry 41 and a half, and we've seen Austin Hooper get more and more involved in this. It really is a great safety blanket for a young quarterback, and I will give the Patriots coaching staff credit where credit is due. This is how you bring up a young quarterback. Easy targets, big targets. Don't ask him to do too much. Drop back, which tight end's open, throw him the ball.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Jonnu Smith love, I would imagine. Probably for good reason. He's been pretty good, but yeah, I like it. Like Hunter
I
Henry.
think it's time for the wide receivers for Miami. Jonnu Smith is a total trap to me this week.
Vikings and the Bears. Nothing really sticks out. I think they got this. They think they've got these lines kind of nailed down. What do you think?
Oh, you don't want to bet on the missing man, Cole Kmet?
I do not. No.
Do they know he's on the team? Do they know how good he can be?
Yeah.
Did you not watch the last 3 years of this team?
Yeah.
That he's a weapon. Anything with this, I think maybe Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. That's kind of where I got with it, not with the receiving props as far as yardage. You're
Sure.
right. I think the yardages are dead on point. Dead on point.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the Broncos and the Raiders. Yeah, give me Brock Bowers over 59 and a half. I know this is a really good Broncos secondary His over-under for receptions is 6.5.
Mhm.
If he goes over that, he's going to fly over this one. He's on pace for the best rookie season for a tight end. I know you like kind of thinking about Cortland Sutton, right?
I was thinking about Courtland Sutton. If you look at these three top players here, so you have Bowers, Sutton, and Myers, all of them under 60. I mean, two out of
It's
these three guys
strange.
got to go over,
It
right?
is strange. Yeah. Sutton's been
We're
pretty
in
good.
Las Vegas. We're not in Denver. Temperature is going to be great, beautiful. No grass. It just, I think these numbers are low. I would be interested in all three of these. Either Bowers or Myers are going to go over this. I
Yeah.
think you could get both of them over this as well. But Courtland Sutton, it's just this Raiders team. They're saying all the right things player wise. I think Max Crosby is the last remaining guy playing hard on this team, full speed.
Mhm.
So it just, they're going to have to throw it. This could be a rout by Denver. I know it's a division game, but if they get down early, if you bet Myers and Bowers before the game and the Raiders are down, how do you not cash both of these?
It's a great point. Yeah, they'll be throwing quite a bit. So many injuries. The other thing, all the injuries at the running back position for the Raiders, like they really don't have a whole lot of weapons to run the ball. So good one. 49ers and the Packers. Got nothing on these guys. I want nothing to do with like the skill position players. I think people will gravitate towards Christian McCaffrey, but guess what? The Packers defense is going to do that as well.
Mhm.
So, Pearsall.
Right. You read my mind.
Okay.
Here's my reasoning. Pearsall was on IR, working his way back in practice every day. Who's throwing him the ball?
Oh, Brandon Allen.
You see this? Don't we see this all the time?
Truth.
Like the backup comes in and you're like, oh, that's the guy that he's hanging out with every day. The fourth receiver,
Mm-hmm.
the third receiver, not the number one and number two guys.
Yeah.
So I think there could be a chemistry here between Pearsall and Allen. Somebody's got to catch the ball, and I might as well take the lowest number.
Yeah.
Right. I
It's
mean,
pretty good.
This is 2 catches. He is getting targets in this offense. I think he has a role. I would not be surprised. I think 18.5 is a little too low.
Cardinals and the Seahawks. You mentioned DK Metcalf. I don't know. Sloppy conditions. Obviously, kind of helps DK. Like, lob it up there. Let the big guy go and get it. It's a big number, though. Big number.
In
And
the sloppy conditions, isn't it just a big play?
Yeah. And Jackson Smith and Jigba's been lights out the last couple weeks. He's become a really big favorite there.
If it's wet, I don't like taking the speedy receivers. I want the guy who can run in a straight line and go up and get the big ball. Because that's what they're going to in a crunch. So I really don't think this number is crazy low. I'll take the 67.5. Where I really like is Trey McBride. I mean, all the talk about Marvin Harrison. Like, is Trey McBride one of the most undervalued receiving tight ends in the league? Nobody talks about this guy.
He might be. Yeah.
I think he's a stud, man. He's an absolute future all-star. And him and Kyler have a great relationship. 56.5. I think so. I think the attention is going to go to Marvin Harrison, and Trey's going to be open underneath most of this game.
Moving on to the Eagles and the Rams. Does not look like Devontae Smith is going to be there. AJ at 90.5. 90.5. Oh, what a big.
Nope.
Yeah. Again, here we go with Puka and Cooper Kupp. Like, pick your poison. Do you want to trust either one of these guys? I kind of don't. Eagles been sneakily better. I'm sure you've noticed that their secondary's been better. Their defense has been a little bit better. So I probably won't bet any of these guys. What do you think?
Saquon Barkley, 14.5 yards rushing.
Love those totals where they can get
receiving,
over one.
Sorry.
Yeah. Love those totals where they can get over in one catch.
One screen pass, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. He's the safety blanket. They are feeding this guy the ball. We thought when he signed with the Eagles that it wasn't going to be like they're going to use him, but they got to keep. Boy, they are not being shy about the amount of touches this kid gets a game, huh?
No,
they're just Saquon all day long. So I'll take the low 14.5. One screen pass, things gets you there.
All right, let's move on to rushing props. Montgomery and Gibbs, or do you want to just pick one, Jim?
It's kind of tough to pick one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tough. Well, you're the Colts guy. I mean, where are the Colts run defense most vulnerable? If it's on the edge, you think it's going to be Gibbs. If it's up the center, then you think it's going to be Montgomery. I mean, that's
I
really the hard thing to figure out with this offense.
Yeah, it is. I mean Montgomery's like minus 200 to score a touchdown, so that kind of sucks, but um that's probably Gibbs for the yards.
I,
We're not going to keep up with him. Come on.
I'll say it again. You play both of these guys every week. If you played both of these guys every week, anytime TD and over their rushing, you are very, very happy this year.
Yeah, yeah.
They get so much work.
I've seen this script before. Gibbs is going to eat us up. So, Chiefs and Panthers. Can I interest you in? I love Hubbard. This is an under game if I've ever seen it.
I think it's a rough day for Chuba.
Yeah,
I think it's a rough day, especially if they get down. They're going to have to abandon it. They're just gonna.
Yeah, Chiefs 85 yards rushing per game this season. So, I don't Cream Hunt. I'd like to play Cream Hunt, but I don't know.
Seems a little high.
It does, and he just doesn't get. It just doesn't seem like he gets that ton of work. So he would have to break off a couple long ones. So
which we haven't seen him do. He's
no,
yeah,
grind
he's
it out.
5 yards in a cloud of dust at this point in his career.
Yep. Titans and the Texans. Joe Mixon, 86.5. He does, when he gets a good matchup, he does take advantage. We saw it last week. So 86.5 too high though?
I don't think it is. He's just getting so much work. And the second, we saw it the other night, the second CJ Stroud struggles, what do? Pound it with Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's a great plan as a coach. When you know that your sophomore quarterback is struggling, don't just keep trotting him out there and having him throw it 30 yards down the field. Use this running back that has been an absolute stud this season. Also, Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown. I mean, just penciling in every week, right?
Yeah.
At this point, nobody is taking away the carries from him down at the goal line. So his equity just goes up so much with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Buccaneers and Giants. Bucky Irving coming back at 55.5. That kind of seems like a lot. Mm-hmm. He is probably the lead back, like in terms of rushing. But he's splitting carries, make no bones about it. And then Tommy DeVito, 21.5. DeVito's had quite a few games where he went over this total, but I don't really trust it. I don't trust any of these running back numbers. Thoughts?
I'll take both quarterbacks.
Oh, you like both quarterbacks over?
Yes. The Giants pass rush, Baker is going to be uncomfortable to an extent. And again, when Baker gets uncomfortable and he takes off, he's not looking to slide. He's looking for contact, and he's going north and south. 11.5 is way too low with the amount of pressure that Burns and Lawrence are going to get on him. He's going to have to get out of the pocket once or twice this game, and he's going to take off. And DeVito, I just don't think there's going to be a lot of options for him. Same reason. We've seen this Tampa pass rush get better. I think he's going to have to tuck it and run. So give me both guys over their rushing. I think they both go over.
Cowboys and Commanders, Brian Robinson Jr. over 72.5. Easy play here for me. Dallas's defense is just getting shredded. 142.7 yards last 3 games, 151 on the season. They just haven't shown much resistance, so I will happily take Brian Robinson. Anything else you like?
I agree, 100%. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's all we need. Patriots and Dolphins. You like any of these?
No.
Me either. Vikings and the Bears. Again, don't really like any of these.
Nope.
Broncos and the Raiders.
Amir Abdullah.
He's the starting running back. And his rushing total is 32.5.
I don't even think he's in the new Madden. And he's starting in real life. So this is interesting. I don't know,
man.
I don't know what to do with this. I don't even know about the Bo Nix 21.5. I think he's becoming a better passer. If anything, I'd be looking at the under, especially with the kneel down situation at the end. So yeah, if anything, I'd be looking at an under there. Other than that, I can't figure out the rest of these guys.
Yeah. I was I was a little bummed. So I made a complete ass of myself talking about why would they run CD Lamb last week for the
Mhm.
Cowboys, and they did run him. And I was like, oh, I'll come on and apologize to CD Lamb, and then I'll take his over rushing. No rushing
Mhm.
props.
Yeah, of
Thanks.
course.
Thanks very much. 49ers and Packers. I mean, McCaffrey 76 and a half. Listen, he hasn't played all season. You got to believe he's healthy. You got to believe he's going to be like touching the ball a lot. I would be more interested in his rush attempts. What is his rush attempts here? 17 and a half. Yeah, give me 17 and a
Mhm.
half. What do you think?
Like that, I do think that he gets a massive workload. Again, it'll be a little wonky this week. Brandon Allen, 4.5 rushing yards. When you don't trust your eyes, I know you don't have to be super mobile. That
Well,
is a
that's pretty good.
really low number.
It is pretty low. You're right. Yeah. I didn't even think about
I
that.
don't
Was
think
this
you're
big
going to have
one?
to worry about kneel downs at the end of the game here. I expect it to be an interesting game. Um, yeah, 4.5. I think probably not going to get there, but I'm going to keep an eye on this.
Mm-hmm. Cardinals and Seahawks. I do like James Conner over 68 and a half. I think that's the way to attack the Seahawks. They're not very good against the rush. 138 yards per game on the season. So yeah, I think that's the best way to go after him. What do you think?
I agree. I really don't want to play Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray, same thing. Gino last week, hey, he has that big scramble for the touchdown. Again, when it's time to make plays, Gino will run it. He will run it. So I'll go back to Gino. Hit him last week, 14 and a half. I think that's 2 rushes, but it's going to depend on the game script. If they're up, you're not going to see it.
Yeah,
So you can't really get there right about now. The James Conner, he's the workhorse. Go
sure.
with it.
Saquon Barkley's 100 yards
Wild.
against the Rams. Yeah, I mean he's a workhorse. I get it, totally understand it, but man, that just seems like way too much. I would also take Jalen Hurts under 39 and a half. That seems quite high against the Rams. I think like is Saquon and Jalen Hurts going to both go over? I guess it's possible, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I don't like any of these.
Okay.
It's such a shame because so many weeks I want to bet on Kyron Williams and Saquon, but the numbers are just I can't take him this high.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is the books like kind of,
Yep.
this is why they make so much money because they put out lines that are pretty spot on. So, yeah, I mean last week against Washington, he had 39 exactly on 10 carries. He had 56, 67, but then 37, 22, 33, 20, 25. So he's not consistently going over this 39 and a half for Jalen Hurts. So, all right. Anytime touchdown. Since Corbin's not here, you want to do an anytime touchdown parlay here?
Sure.
All right. Amonra,
Oh yeah.
St. Brown. Okay. We'll have some fun here. We'll do Amonra, St. Brown, Chiefs and Panthers. No. Titans and Texans Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Okay. Now we needed Buccaneers and
Let's go.
Giants.
Let's go. Kate Otten. All
Ooh.
the attention. All the attention on Evans coming
Okay.
back.
All right. There you go. Plus 647 there on DraftKings. Amon-Ra, Joe Mixon, and K Dot in there. There's your anytime touchdown parlay. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to grab that NFL pack that it will be up when you're watching this. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Code word of the day is ready. Type that in the comment section. Good luck on your place, and we'll see everyone later.
Good luck, guys.